What happens when you wear a corset for a prolonged period of time?
I'm told it's the latest fashion in London.
Well, women in London must have learnt not to breathe.
This is a skeleton here at the Bone Museum with evidence of tight-laced corsetry. Corsets were worn as a structural undergarment, but during the Victorian times, it became highly fashionable to wear increasingly tight corsets to give yourself the smallest waist possible. If we look at these two skeletons side by side, we can see a difference in the size and shape of the ribcage. In this individual here, you can really see just how narrow the ribcage is. Corsets would start to be worn in adolescence when your bones are still malleable and your body is already used to being in a tight garment. But with the rising popularity of tight-laced corsetry and smaller corsets, that would actually warp your bone structure as they would be worn for hours on end. Now, it's important to differentiate that a regular corset is not going to do this, but extreme tight lacing will, and extreme tight lacing was actually even controversial back in the Victorian age, with doctors and dressmakers speaking out against it. And if you still think that that's impossible, here's an example from the Mutter Museum where they also have a comparison side by side on display of a typical torso and one affected by corsetry. This skeleton was actually prepared by the company Milliken & Lawley, which was based out of the UK and dates back to the Victorian times. So historically, it does line up with the period when that was highly popular. Now, we can only speculate to the life that this person lived, but tight-laced corsetry was very popular among people of high society, and the practice was also seen as vain. From the hundreds of articulations that we have seen, this is the only one that presents with such a narrowing. So this is not just the articulation style. Now, this is one of the more interesting skeletons that we have here at the Bone Museum, so we wanted to make this video highlighting the individual's lifestyle and a broad history of tight-laced corsetry. And now, one piece of information we'll leave you with to discuss in the comments is that the individual that we've been covering this entire video is actually biologically male.